Hey guys, so today we are talking about something that I know is hitting different for a lot of you right now, and it's the feeling of fuck my ex. Like that raw feeling, I'm so done with this person and everything they represent. And listen, I'm not here to tell you that feeling is wrong, because sometimes it's the most honest thing you've felt in months. But I'm also not here to let you stay stuck in it forever. Because there is a version of this that frees you and a version that keeps you chained to someone who doesn't even deserve the space in your thoughts anymore. So we are gonna talk about the difference. Because if you don't process this right, you are either gonna carry this bitterness into your next relationship, or you are gonna let this one person make you believe love isn't for you. And I'm not letting that happen, okay? So, welcome back. Let's get into it. So, let me just say, I've watched so many people I love go through this. My best friend, she was with this guy for 3 years. 3 years of her adjusting, accommodating, shrinking herself to fit his desire. And when it finally ended, she called me, and the first words out of her mouth were, I just don't care anymore. Fuck him and fuck anyone who think I shouldn't feel that way. And you know what? I just let her have that moment. Because sometimes you need to feel that rage before you can feel anything else. And I've gotten so many messages sharing the stories. The girl who found out her boyfriend had a whole other, let's call it, situationship happening while telling her she was overthinking. The guy who gave 5 years to someone who left him for the person they told him not to worry about. The person who was blindsided after planning a whole future together. You know, this girl even like planning to have kids, to have family with this guy. This is ridiculous, right? Like, these aren't just breakups. These are betrayals. And betrayal hit different because it makes you question your own judgment. And here is what I need you to understand. That fuck my ex energy is valid, but it's supposed to be a season, not a settlement. You are supposed to pass through it, not build a house there. Because here is what I've seen happen. And I've seen it with my cousin, with my friends, with people in my DMs. When you stay in that eater place too long, you started to think it's protecting you. But really, you're just giving your ex the free real estate in your mind. They're out there living their life, probably not even thinking about you at all. And you are still rehearsing the argument in the shower, you are still checking their social media, you are still letting their memory control your mood. And that's not power, honey. That's bandage with extra steps. So one of my closest friends, she went through the worst breakup I've ever witnessed. This man had her questioning her sanity even. Like this is a classic gaslighting situation. And for months after, she was consumed. Every conversation circled back to him. Every song reminded her of something related to him. And one day I just looked at her eyes and said, Babe, when does he stop being the main character of your story? And something shifted in her eyes. I can see that. Because she realized she'd given him the character in the life he was no longer part of it. So how do you honor the anger without letting it consume you? So first, you let yourself feel it fully. Don't, in your mental, bypass your own pain. Don't jump straight to everything happens for a reason. That means don't blame yourself when you haven't even let yourself be mad yet. You are allowed to be furious that someone wasted your time. You are allowed to grieve the future you imaged. One of my followers messaged me saying she felt guilty of being angry at her ex because he wasn't that bad. And I told her, you don't need someone to be a enemy or to be a bad guy and to be valid in your heart. Sometimes people, they aren't evil, they're just human and they are just wrong for you. And there's still a loss worth mourning. But then, this is the part people skip. You have to start redirecting that energy. So every time you think about them, just ask yourself, what could I be building instead? What dream have I put on hold? What part of myself did well I trying to make that relationship work? Because I promise you, there is a version of you on the other side of this that you haven't even met yet. And they are waiting for you to stop looking backwards. And here is the spiritual truth that look me in the eyes and take me in my mind and took me many years to understand. And I watched it played out in so many people's lives. That relationship had to end for you, next chapter to begin. I know it doesn't feel like the timing when you are carrying on your bathroom, carrying the heavy burden and crying, but the same universe that let that end is also preparing what's next, what's new for you. And sometimes the blessing is removal. Sometimes the answered prayer looks like loss before it looks like a gain. So my dearest friend, the one I mentioned earlier, she is now in the healthiest relationship I've ever seen her. But she almost didn't let it happen because she was so guarded from what her ex did. She told me she had to actively choose to believe that one person's failure wasn't everyone's future. And that's how it works. That's the real work. So here what I want to leave you with. You are not stupid for loving someone who didn't deserve it. You are not naive for believing the best in someone who showed you their worst. You are not broken because this broke you for a little while. You are human, and it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay. You still have hard days. And it's okay if healing isn't linear. But you can decide today that this chapter has an ending. You can decide that your ex gets a period in your story. But it's not, he cannot just show in your whole life. And that the best of your love is still ahead of you, not behind you. So just close that door, baby. Just let it go and watch what opens. I hope what I said helped. I love all of you. Take care of yourselves. Bye.